Not every goalie has the luxury of being able to test out pads on the ice before you buy them.
Forehand, no! Tristan Jarry with the pad! Tristan Jarry!
Sometimes you're just going into the store and looking at the color and being like, I like it.
I like it a lot.
You're trying it on with your sock feet. And that is, I just am assuming that is not the best way to do it. So I have expert Jay Wiele here from Vaughn Custom Sports. And so, yeah, what if we can't do a demo day? You did, how many demo days have you done in the last 2 months?
I think we're creeping up to probably close to 20.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of private skates as well, where goalies have lessons with their trainer. I'm in the area or close to the area, and I'll bring gear to the private skate too. So
yeah. So we don't all have that luxury.
Correct.
So we're just going to go down to our local hockey shop and we're going to try on gear. So how's the best way to do that? Should I take my skates? Should I take my pants? How?
Yeah, awesome question. Gear that you should bring with you would be your skates, your pants, your knee guards, and your old pads. You know, it's a good thing to bring in your old pads as well. Stores and staff in stores can help parents determine, you know what, these pads are way too small, these pads potentially still fit, whatever the case may be. If you wanted to bring your chest protector, you're more than welcome to do that, to feel like, you know, how you would be suited up in all your gear. But again, just to recap, skates, knee, thigh guards, pants, for sure. And then old pads. Old pads, like we said, help determine whether they're too small, too big, or if they still fit. So in doing so, we're trying to simulate how we're going to feel in that new gear with our gear on, right? With our existing pants, with our knee guards, and it will help determine, you know, where we need to go. Do we need to go one size bigger? Do we need to go 2 sizes bigger? Where we talked about it, you know, earlier, where do we need to go in overall height? Are we getting too high? Are we landing on the knee stack? Are we not landing on the knee stack? Do you use bungees? Do you use skate lace? Because that plays a factor in fit as well.
Yeah, yeah. Even just to feel like how that butterfly seals, like sometimes it just feels weird, you know, and so.
Yeah, and too much overlap with a pad that's big, just enough overlap with a pad that fits, and just the overall feel of, you know, whether you're in a store that has a nice little pad like this where you can actually have your skates on and drop down and maybe move around and see, are the thigh rises colliding? Mm-hmm. Is this pad giant on me? Is it the right pad? Do we need to go 2 sizes bigger? Because my child's grown 5 inches in a year, whatever the case may be. But the best thing you can do is, if you are going to a store, bring your skates, knee guards, and pants, and your old pads.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's pretend, let's make believe. We'll go to the land of make believe. And we'll, so I'm coming in and I'm going to try, I actually do have my eye on those SLR4s. So I will put on my gear and then you kind of walk me through what you'd be looking for to see if it's the right fit.
Absolutely.
Cool. Okay, so I have got pants. These are medium senior Vaughn pants, SLR4 pants. So I've never had them on, but I wanted to try them on. They're medium, might be a little bit big, but and then I got my skates and my regular knee guards on.
Exactly. So we've got a 30+2 intermediate pad here. We're going to see Maria overall height and where she's landing on the knee stack. One thing I'll just call out while we're trying on pads for parents as well is toe bungees. So when we're dialing in our toe bungee, we do not want to go through too many of the holes on the holder underneath the skate. We don't want to create too much tension. We want to create light tension so that the goalie's skate, when they're down, their toe can get to the ice.
Yeah.
Much like knots with toe slack.
Yeah.
We want the ability for a goaltender, this is the backside, someone's dropped down the butterfly, we want the ability for their skate blade to get down to the ice.
Yeah.
So they can butterfly slide or power slide across. When we create too much tension with these bungees, especially for a younger goalie, their skate blade is not getting to the ice.
Yeah.
So then they have to work extra hard, pull that pad up for their butterfly slide. We want the same idea with skate lace and creating toe slack. We want to try to create a little bit of less tension with these bungees. And Maria's done a great job. She crossed it at the front, did not go through the first hole, and went through the middle hole.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, so don't try to fire it through the back hole.
Or the first hole.
Yeah.
You know, with skate lace, it's a different story. And parents, you know, as your goalie kind of graduates in ability, skate lace with toe slack is beneficial for RVH and locking into the post. And for a lot of different reasons, flaring out that toe with your butterfly with toe slack definitely helps a little bit. So bungees are convenient and a great start. As we get to a level where we feel like we can kind of graduate into skate lace and toe slack, it will be beneficial. I do have the odd elite goaltender that does still use a bungee in whatever variation, which works as well. But we can get into that, another time as well. But
Yeah.
I'll lay this pad down for you there.
Perfect. I really like how, so these are, I don't know if they're the same, but they're similar to the ones that I tried on the ice earlier this summer. You can see the full review there. But I really like the strapping. It gives, because my calves are skinny. So sometimes when I try on pads, it's it feels like they're just
Loose.
I have to but this, it feels kind of like they're not made for skinny, but they have that adjustability where I can get it so it just feels nice. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
How to describe
and
it.
We've talked about it, and that's the strapping with the RRC Plus strapping. So the 2 calf straps, which we've talked about in the past, that go on the outside of the calf wrap or the inside of the calf wrap, and then having the adjustability to also lengthen or shorten those calf straps. You can really dial in the fit. And like we talked about before, if someone likes a looser fit, they can take those right out.
Nope, that's the wrong one.
And kind of dial in their fit that way. So the connectivity, we've talked about it many times in the past. I think our pads, in terms of connectivity, are phenomenal that way.
Yeah,
And
it gives a lot of options, and it is really easy to set it up like the way you want it, so that it feels good to you.
exactly. And then we'll get that just kind of right there.
Do the wiggle.
Exactly. So what we just were discussing in terms of overall pad height, we're looking at, we talked about these pants being a little bit too big for Maria, which is fine. We talked about overall pad height and where it's coming up onto your thigh. And with crease movements and with your mobility around the crease, is there too much colliding with the thigh rise? So we're looking at overall height that way, and then we're looking at dropping down in the butterfly and seeing where your knee lands. So as we look, we're looking to see on that knee stack with the knee guard on, Maria is on the knee stack. She's not over top of the knee stack, and she's not too low in that knee stack. So this potentially is a great fit to the knee. And as we kind of focus on it more, as she stands up again, we're looking at overall height again and where that goalie is in their stance and where that goalie is standing straight up. And we're kind of looking right now at a pretty happy place. The pants are a bit loose and big as we discussed, but knee stack and overall height is what we're looking for. And we're pretty close to where we need to be here. Now, we would have the ability to try on one size bigger just to see, okay, sure, the knee stack might work on that pad, and we might like the overall height on that pad as well, or we might not. We know that this is in contention right now.
Yeah, they feel good. I feel like a size bigger would be too much.
Would be tall, for sure.
Would be too much.
For sure.
I like the way those feel.
So again, we just mentioned about toe slack and where our toe is, and the way that Maria has done these toe bungees and where we're at is she has created the right amount of tension, which is kind of like a medium tension, so that her skate blade is getting to the ice. So when she needs to pick up her foot and butterfly slide or power push across on the ice, she can get where she needs to here. If this is tighter, or if you're using, let's say, skate lace with minimal knots, this will be elevated off of the ice, and you cannot get to the ice as easy as you could right now.
Yeah.
This is huge, parents. Exactly. That spot right there is where we need to go.
Easy.
Doesn't matter what you use for a toe setup. Could be bungees, could be lace, could be aftermarket. There's a lot of great stuff out there. Your goaltender needs to get here so that they're at an advantage to get from point A to point B while they're on the ice.
Yeah. Yeah. And that takes nothing. Just
Takes nothing, exactly. If
Yeah.
the goalie does not have that within their strapping setup right now, and if you're going through this hole, and then, so if you're going through this hole and this hole, it does not enable, especially a smaller goalie that is lighter, to get this skate blade where it needs to be. I see it every demo event I'm at where this is up off the ice, and that goalie is trying to force their toe down into the ice, and they have to pick up their foot get the pad angled up to get where they need to be.
Yeah, I'd have to get to there.
We do not want that.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter on your toe setup at all.
Yeah.
Let's give the goalie the best ability to make the crease movements and mobility around the crease that we can. And if, again, this tension is perfect where we're at right here.
Yeah, that's huge. It feels good. So these pads are a good fit, and they feel good too. Then there's another dilemma that probably other people face, and so I have like a pretty big hand or long fingers, so I can easily fit my hands in a senior glove. So I kind of, in my mind, I'm like, well, I better, like a bigger glove, there's more chance that the puck's gonna just hit it, but maybe that is flawed logic. What are your thoughts on the pros and the cons of moving up to a senior glove?
It's an excellent call out, and it is very good logic. So when we talk about scale from junior to intermediate to senior, all companies kind of scale in the intermediate and junior category vary. So with a larger hand, pretty decent height, right, overall.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good idea to potentially look at a larger glove. This is an intermediate glove.
This glove is like
Nice.
butter.
So you have on the intermediate glove.
Yeah.
It's a fairly large intermediate glove, I would say. When we're talking about fit, we're talking about size, we're looking at where the glove breaks in the middle of the palm or not in the middle of the palm. If it's too big, the break will come out towards your fingers, and the goalie will not be able to squeeze the glove when the break is out towards the fingers. So we want to try to get the break somewhere closer to the middle of the hand, so the goalie, young, teen, old, can squeeze that glove and have the best opportunity to catch a puck.
Yeah.
So that is the intermediate glove. It's not a bad fit. It's a bigger intermediate glove. Here is a senior glove. These are V10 gloves. The break is 50 degrees on this glove. So now we've got into the senior glove, which Maria can close, which the break is still, I believe, probably in the palm of your hand.
Yeah, it feels like it kind of goes like that.
Right. So the determining factor is, great call out you made, bigger glove, more surface area, can we catch with this glove? And then you would determine, or the parent and the child with my guidance would determine, okay, I feel like the smaller glove is better, or I feel like the larger glove is better.
Yeah.
And conversely, from junior to intermediate, same type of story. Is the glove in junior too small? Maybe you're getting into a 28+2 pad in junior, but you have bigger hands. You might want the intermediate glove and blocker.
Yeah.
Or the junior glove and blocker might be fine with the junior pads, depending on hand size and where you're at. Maria's looking at adjustability. This is actually a very important call out.
So yeah, because I've got skinny wrists too. So sometimes when I go with bigger size equipment, then I can't get it to snug down. So then even though the length is fine, it feels sloppy on my hand. But I just so easy, open that up and then just tighten that strap a little bit, and it feels like $1,000,000.
Exactly, and then we've got on the back of the palm.
Oh yeah.
You can tighten that up to where you want to be.
Oh, I like that.
And then on the
actually
back of the fingers, you can tighten that up where you want to be.
Oh.
So you can
that's
go
cool.
tighter or looser. So
Yeah.
a lot of goalies that I see of all ages like to really pull that wrist strap and dial in the back of their hand as well to be tight. Some goalies don't like using the wrist strap and kind of keep that floating. I'm one of those goalies, and I go tighter on the back of my hand and tighter on my fingers.
Yeah.
So again, overall size, that's a bigger glove, especially for a senior glove. You're not having an issue closing it, but we would try to determine, okay, do I want the bigger glove? Do I still want or do I like this intermediate glove that still presents big for an intermediate glove? And you'll be able to catch with both. It's just, where do you want to go?
Yeah, like the biggest thing is I feel this is lighter.
100%.
So that kind of feels nice, but so look at that. This is cool because it's the exact same adjustability.
Scaled down.
There's nothing. It's not like a crappy version. It's the exact same. Jay, do you do birthday parties, guys? This would be fantastic.
So
have a goalie's birthday party.
So when we're looking at both gloves, what is going to give us the best ability to catch pucks? The lighter, slightly smaller glove, the bigger, slightly bigger glove. And for you, we're in a situation here where you could do either.
Yeah.
Bigger hand still fits into that. The length of your hand is not jamming to the end of the finger stalls here, so we're in a good place there. Bigger glove, little heavier, bigger surface area, and just trying to determine which you think you would have more success with.
Yeah.
When we're looking at SLR, we mentioned a 50-degree glove in velocity. We've got our stock offering is a 60-degree glove and a little bit smaller of a glove. So again, the intermediate glove is similar in size, but when you put this glove on, it's going to be slightly smaller. The break in a 50, we're talking 50 is a little bit out. We're talking 60 kind of more towards the middle, and then 70 in Pro Carbon gets a little bit more to the thumb. You can feel the difference. Obviously, when you close this, you can dial in the strapping.
Yeah.
Wrist strap, back of hand, and you can open it up and dial in the back of your hand as well. And that opens up from the thumb side as well.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks.
And then you can dial that in. And then if Maria or any goaltender who's choosing between the gloves, there's 2 intermediate gloves. If she says, okay, you know what, I think I'm intermediate, then we would look at the different breaks, look at the different features, and say, okay, I like the 50-degree break better, so I'm going to go with the velocity line. Or I like the 60-degree break better, I'm going to go with the SLR line.
Can you do it in go like 50 is like this and 60 is like that? Can you show that?
Yeah, I mean,
I never I always get confused.
Yeah,
I think I like baseball.
Yeah, and
better.
I think really to kind of dive into it, I think a bigger hand is way more likable in a velocity 50-degree glove because that break is in a happy place. The break is a little bit tilted again towards kind of the outside or the top of your fingers, whereas a 60 kind of gets a little bit more in the middle or slightly towards the thumb. So a larger hand, typically, goalie likes the 50-degree break in the velocity line, and then the 60-degree break is, I would say, on a global scale, one of the more popular breaks for sure. They both kind of will get that baseball glove feeling. Again, this is more of an outward kind of break and an outward tee, and then that 60-degree kind of gets a little bit tilted in a little bit more, and then in Pro Carbon, the 70 goes even more to the thumb, the tee is offset, and we get even more of a turn upward. So
like for glove position, kind of.
Correct.
So this one would be a little like I'm just going to say flatter.
Correct.
As opposed, yeah. So that's what I like.
When you're
too.
reaching outward, this 50-degree break and the way it's laced in the palm to that tee, we're getting outward quicker.
Yeah.
As we get into a 60, it's got a little bit of a slight tilt, so we're getting a little bit up quicker for that shot up here.
Yeah.
And then the 70, we're getting even more upright and getting to here quicker. And also, when we're talking about playing the puck, I think all goalies that are strong can use all gloves. As we kind of get into the 60 or the 70, it's got a little bit more of a flare up, so we're already in that position when we're here and we're shooting. But really, we've talked about it in the past with Pro Carbon. 3 really great glove options, in my opinion. 3 gloves that I could use happily, which is pretty rare. One of 3 might not work. But yeah, an awesome. And again, we're talking about scaling down Pro Carbon, and we're now into Pro, Import Pro. We've scaled down the Pro Carbon in the velocity line, and then we've done that in junior and intermediate, and the same thing in terms of the SLR line. We're taking that glove and we're just scaling it down for intermediate and then scaling it down for junior.
Yeah.
So pretty good offerings as well.
Yeah, I guess a question that like a younger goalie or parent might have is going from intermediate to senior, and if they're starting to face harder shots, are they going to be feeling zingers in an intermediate glove whereas they should be in a senior and they wouldn't be feeling that?
Great question. So kind of as we get into the senior or Pro Carbon conversation, when we order custom gloves, we're talking Pro Carbon, and then we can talk about game ready Pro Palm or practice palm. So I think if your son or daughter is playing a lot of hockey and they've graduated into senior sizing, and maybe Pro Carbon pads may or may not be in the budget or perhaps needed, getting Pro Carbon glove and blocker would be a good move because you're catching. We don't want to feel stingers and zingers. We want to feel good out there and not feel like we're going to get injured in any way. So that's something that we've definitely done, or I've seen done this summer especially. I think in the Import Pro, and we're talking intermediate, I think there's ample amount of protection. I don't think it's generally an issue. But I think as you graduate into harder shots and you're playing at maybe more of an elite level, or you're getting to a higher level, whatever that is, when you do get into senior sizing, if you can, I would go pro carbon and order custom pro palm. I've got goalies order 2 gloves, especially AAA goalies or junior A goalies. They're ordering a practice glove and then a game ready glove.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Boy, that glove, that's the nicest feeling Vaughn glove I've ever had on my hand.
It's awesome
it's
for
really
sure.
Nice.
And I think too, you know, when these gloves, some have been used more than others and some are brand new, but when I get a lot of feedback from a goalie and their parent when they can squeeze our glove and close our glove.
Yeah.
Versus some gloves out there that they're using that they've used for a year that they can't close as well. So that's an important call out as well, is you need to be able to catch a puck.
Yeah.
So when you're looking, whatever store, whatever brand you're looking at, talk to the associates, shoot me a message, get my opinion, but you need to be able to catch the puck.
Yeah.
When we talk about blockers, kind of same story. We're talking about the pro carbon, which then becomes a senior pro, which becomes the intermediate, which becomes the junior, and it's a scaled down version. So that's the intermediate blocker. So similar features, just minus the carbon. Same sidewall, same finger protection, same quick slide on the back side.
That's cool.
For a little bit of slide, if you, not that we're paddling down a lot, but you know, just for that quicker kind of movement. Same finger protection. Just a shrunk down version of a pro carbon and a pro. So
that feels nice. Really nice. Well, that's awesome, Jay. Thanks so much for helping us figure that out and how to get, just the best possible fit when you can't necessarily get out on the ice to take things for a test drive. This has been perfect. Thanks so much again.
Yeah, my pleasure. Always a pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So that is how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. So load up the family station wagon, head down to your local hockey shop, and make sure you get a good fit so that when you do get out on the ice, it feels fantastic for you. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Otherwise, I will catch you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. I love you guys.
Yeah, that seal is awesome.
Yeah, that's nice, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.